The Chicago Cubs had an off day yesterday and they began a new series today. But let's have some fun before we begin that, talking about that new series. We're talking about who the Chicago Cubs could potentially trade for to play for third base. Let's talk about it right after this. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on, Cubs fans? It's your boy Mike Jones back again with another episode of Chicago Cubs Central. Today, the Chicago Cubs begin a series with those Pittsburgh Pirates. Guys, do not take the Pirates lightly just because they don't have a great record. And because they lose a lot of games, the Chicago Cubs cannot come into this series thinking it will be a cakewalk. The Chicago Cubs will face Paul Skeens this series, and the Chicago Cubs need to be prepared for that, along with the fact that you just don't want to overlook any competition right now. You want to play every game, and you want to bludgeon these teams that you're supposed to beat and get your RBIs, get your ERA up or down, get your ERA down, get your batting average up, and take care of business against these teams that you're supposed to beat. So I'm expecting the Chicago Cubs to have a good showing as they take on the Pittsburgh Pirates on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of this week. That Thursday game being an 11:35 start time. That's a weird time to start, but they're in Pittsburgh, so you know how it goes. But yeah, we're excited for that. Hopefully, the Chicago Cubs can pull out the W, and we'll be talking about it on tomorrow's episode. However, for today, I did want to talk to you guys. I will start this off by openly telling you I do not have any inside source knowing if the Chicago Cubs are exploring trades for any of these players. What I'm saying is it is a glaring hole in the Chicago Cubs system. The fact that we do not have a competent third baseman that can do what they need to do on the defensive end while also offering offense. It is a glaring spot in the team, and we're missing out. So, with that being said, the Chicago Cubs need to figure out what to do at third base. And in my eyes, the Chicago Cubs need to look at some potential trades that could bolster the offense and the defense for this team. I'm going to go through a list of guys that could be potential trade bait depending on how the season goes and how these guys could be open. These teams could be open to trading these guys because either their contract or because the team's record and the team just wants to offload some of these things. First and foremost, let's look at um, let's look at Jose Miranda from the Minnesota Twins. He's age 25. His 2024 stats, he had a .284 average and a .441 slug. Miranda offers solid contact skills and could be a valuable addition to the team, seeking a reliable third baseman. His defense is what you would be getting him for, not necessarily for his contact and power, but he is somebody that could potentially offer up something at third base for you. Another person to look at is Matt Chapman. I do not suspect, I will tell you this right now, especially with the way the Giants have been playing to begin this season early on, I do not expect the Giants to want to part ways with Matt Chapman. However, he's known for his elite defense. He provides stability at third base, and the Giants might explore trade options if they want to get stronger in other areas. So again, this is somebody the Cubs could absolutely look at and be like, this is somebody that we can definitely help us. Now, let's look to those Arizona Diamondbacks. The Arizona Diamondbacks could potentially, if their record does not improve, look to trade Eugenio Suarez or Gino Suarez. He's right in 2024. He had a .256 batting average. He had 30 home runs and 101 RBIs. Guys, just last week, Eugenio Suarez hit 4 home runs in one game to take the lead on the year, on the season so far for the home run leader. He has 10 home runs. He's the first one to hit 10 home runs this year. So bringing somebody like him into our system obviously would help. Now, granted, he does struggle too because he is a home run hitter and because he has power. He also has a lot of swing and miss too. So if he makes contact, usually it's gone. But Wrigley Field has been playing weird the last couple years with the wind and everything like that, keeping balls in. And to me, when you get somebody like Eugenio Suarez, you're looking at somebody that is just like Isaac Paredes. So in my eyes, or not just like, but they have some similarities. So in my eyes, I don't know that Eugenio Suarez might be somebody that you want to look at, but that's neither here nor there. He is a potential option for us now. And this is going to pain me, guys. And some of you might end up turning off or leaving or going somewhere else. Um, but the case for Arenado for the Chicago Cubs to pick up the phone and talk to the St. Louis Cardinals about trading for Nolan Arenado is growing more and more and more by the day. The Chicago Cubs need consistency at third base. They need a playmaker at third base. They need somebody that it doesn't make a lot of errors. Somebody that can get outs. Somebody that can make the right throws. Somebody that can make the right reads, and somebody that has power, and somebody that has speed, and somebody that is a Golden Glover, and somebody that is able to produce offense also. Nolan Arenado just Saturday, this last past Saturday, hit a walk-off home run to beat the Brew Crew. Like I said, he basically is the offense right now for the St. Louis Cardinals. He has 3 home runs, a batting average of 255, and 12 RBIs and 25 hits. Again, he is somebody that the Chicago Cubs should look to talk to the Cardinals and just even ask, what would it take? And I know it's going to pain us, but to see our guys go over down there to the Dirty River Birds and play for the St. Louis Cardinals. But at the same time, if Nolan Arenado helps us compete this season, I definitely think this is something the Chicago Cubs should look to do. I think that at the end of the day, you need to look to better your team, no matter about the rivalry, no matter about what's going on. The Chicago Cubs know that the St. Louis Cardinals are basically in rebuild mode. The St. Louis Cardinals are basically looking to offload and dump those contracts. Arenado would have to agree to any deal before the deal could be done because he almost got traded twice during the offseason, but he vetoed both those deals. So he would have to agree to come to Chicago. But that's not saying that it couldn't be done. It's not saying that it couldn't be done. I mean, he clearly is seeing the the Cardinals ain't going nowhere this year. Like I said, I mean, they could try to do that Cardinal magic. They could try to heat up later on in the season and everything like that, but they just don't have the pieces or the talent to be able to compete this season. Um, and he has a large contract, and they want to start fresh next year. So knowing all of these things, I'm not saying a deal would happen. I'm not even saying a deal is imminent. I'm not even saying that the Cubs would do this. I'm just saying it's something that they should take into account. They should look across the board. And picking up the phone and just seeing like, hey, what would it cost? You may get the phone hung up in your face. You may get laughed out the building. But to be able to ask, hey, what would it cost for Arenado? What are you asking for? And would he be agreeing in agreement to it? He could play out the rest of his contract in Chicago. I think he has like a year or 2 years left on that deal. And it gives you a third base, somebody steady at third base for 2 years. Then after that, hopefully Matt Shaw is ready to go, and then you can go from there. But it slows down the rebuild. I'm sorry, it slows down the maturation process for Matt Shaw because right now the Cubs are reaching, and they don't know where to go at third base. Outside of John Birdie, they really don't know where to go. Vidal Brujan, Gage Workman, neither one of those are guys I don't think is going to work out long term. I do believe Vidal will get time because of his speed. I do think he'll be somebody that'll be a bench player this year for the Cubs. But again, the Chicago Cubs need more. We need a steady, everyday third baseman. And unfortunately, I'm making the case for the Chicago Cubs to call the St. Louis Cardinals about Nolan Arenado. I don't know if anything will happen. I don't know if anything will come of it, but it's worth it. It's worth the call. Just a call. So that's my time for today. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Do any of these guys strike your curiosity? And do you absolutely hate the idea of the Chicago Cubs making a call about Nolan Arenado? Let me know in the comments below. Comment, please like, share, and subscribe. You can leave me a voicemail at 217-816-5498, or you can write me at cubsbaseball1992@gmail.com. Hey, y'all, we got baseball back tonight. Let's go. Chicago Cubs versus the Pittsburgh Pirates. Let's go out there and let's hopefully fly to W. Appreciate you all. Until next time, go Cubs, go. Peace.
Thank you for watching another episode of Chicago Cubs Central, the #1 spot for all Chicago Cubs content. Remember to like, share, subscribe for more Cubs content.